My name is Travis Erickson. I work at Appalachian State University and I'm an academic advisor. So I work with a large number of students and helping them with their graduation plans and get them out of school on time, basically.
And how does G Suite and Google fit into that?
So the university adopted G Suite for Education,
Yep.
I think about 5 or 6 years ago. And so we started using spreadsheets and everything else. And primarily the main function I use it for is kind of a database for all of our students. Tied into those spreadsheets then is information about grades for the semester for the students, actual registration for that semester, just a bunch of tools all integrated into one sheet so that an advisor can kind of look at everything all at once.
So it sounds like a pretty complex and also mission critical sheet that you've got there for.
Yeah. So yeah, because
work,
each advisor has everything they need. And actually one of the things that we've been able to do is help predict enrollment for classes, because there's certain classes that are only taken by majors. And when we compile together all the advisors' graduation plans, we can look and see, okay, in spring 2020, how many students do you expect to see in anatomy, for example?
Yeah. What about specifically on AppScript now? What have been the benefits for you of learning AppScript and using that?
I think just streamlining processes. I mean, I think that the title of your course, automation, is exactly what it's all about, because there's certain things that we just do over and over and over again. And if we can automate that task, it just makes it quicker. So a good example would be when we make a new graduation plan for a student, each of us advisors has a template of what that curriculum looks like. And so when that advisor adds that student to their master advising list, it then makes a copy. The script that I created it makes a copy of that existing template and then populates it with that student's name, their ID for the university, and then provides a link to that sheet directly in their master advising sheet. And so it does all that all at once. And it makes it quicker. And then the other, advantage of automation is, as you know, for sure, is reducing the chance of miskeying information like a student's ID or whatnot. So if we can offload the tedious stuff to make it be quicker, that gives us more time to work with those students that really are maybe in an academic kind of problem.
Was there anything specifically from the course that's really helped you?
The APIs are really interesting to me because I've never worked with an API before, and I'm hoping that I'll find a use case for that for what we have to do right now. But directly, the main thing I'm really looking at doing is simplifying how our office works with the scripts that I write. And the sidebar really interests me quite a bit because and I know a little bit of HTML and a little bit of CSS, but not enough. And to put it all together, that's what's been really helpful, is that you build your videos up from scratch. All of them. I mean, it starts with nothing. And so it's not like you have to join it in progress and figure out what you've done. It's like you can work together with you to kind of build it. And so that's very helpful to me because I'm not a computer programmer by any means. I like to tinker and play with stuff, but to see how it's built and the repetition of here's how you build the UI and here's how we, access, spreadsheet, active spreadsheet. I mean, it just helps me to kind of see it over and over and over again because it makes more sense to me that I can kind of go in there and program it myself. The other information as well, just solidifying kind of how it all works, because it's easy to go on to Stack Overflow or whatnot and copy a script that someone else has written and kind of tweak it a little bit and make it work, but maybe not understand why it works. So building things up from ground up like you do and following along, it has helped me get a better understanding of what's actually going on. And this course in general, I like that. I was talking with a colleague today about it, is that you use some specific examples, for example, using the Facebook API or the PayPal API, but you're very clear about explaining where you get the information from, because you understand that not everyone's going to be accessing a Facebook API or a PayPal API, but if you have a similar one you're trying to access, here's where you'd find that information. And that's where I think the course really shines. I mean, for me, it's just the curiosity of it. I mean, if someone is curious enough that they want to learn this material, then I think that they owe it to themselves you've got to dive in at some point. And, and you can dig up a dozen different YouTube videos, but they're not coherent. And what you've created is a curriculum. And that's the difference, is that it's a planned process to go from point A to point B. And that's how you learn stuff. It's hard to just ping pong back and forth on a few different videos that aren't really tied together. But yours are, and you put a lot of thought into how they progress from, chapter 1 all the way down to, chapter 25 and whatnot, or lesson 25. And that's what makes these videos so valuable.